Hello. Okay, today I just went and bought some books, so I'm going to be doing tiny little book haul thing. This will also go ahead and be my next TBR kind of deal as well, because right now I'm reading The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien. I got slowed down because I had to do a bunch of stuff for college, so this is what I'm reading now, and then I'll probably read the books I just bought because that's how I function. Can't help myself. I'm like an addict. Okay, so the books I bought. The first one is Sister Carrie by Theodore Dreiser. Dreiser? I'm not sure how you say his name. I bought this because it kind of sounded interesting. I looked at the title because I had a American literature professor who talked about it and mentioned how good it was, but that it was too long for the class we were taking. So I went and I saw it, I looked it up, and I was reading the back, and it seemed interesting. It's a small-town girl who moves to Chicago and then tries to become an actress, and is kind of in New York, and is kind of seduced by the lifestyle, and kind of, I think, probably a warning, one of those morality tales. Shall not go live in the big city. But it was written in 1900, and it was the first novel by Mr. Dreiser. So it seems really interesting, and I've heard it's important, so this is one of the books I bought. The next book I bought, the next two, were kind of spurred by thinking about diversity in reading. Two of my favorite booktubers who talk about it a lot, actually three. Barry Pierce from Baz Pierce just did a live show where he was talking all about reading diversely. Ashley from Climb the Stacks talks about it all the time, and I'm sorry, I'm such an asshole. I can't think of her name, but from One Small Paw, she always has like a wide range of diverse reading kind of things. So I wanted to do that, and I was thinking about lately I started reading. I've always kind of been interested in the Harlem Renaissance, and I started reading James Baldwin, and I read Zora Neale Hurston, Their Eyes Were Watching God, over the summer, and they were fantastic, and some of my favorite books. So I thought, let's try to do that, a different route. And I was thinking of one of the countries I know, or one of the geographical areas where I know almost no famous authors. I know one, and I've read one of his books, and that's Latin America and Mexico. So I've read one book, 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, and it was pretty good. It was interesting. I liked the folktale part of it. It was a little long and a little too loose for me, but it was interesting. I have a review of it on my channel as well. So I just looked up. So the next two books I bought are from authors in the Latin American community. Actually, what would be good is if I actually knew good, I just found out. Sorry for the blank space. I was looking for which country specifically the second author was from. So anyway, I know this might seem like it's not diverse, but I got Love in the Time of Cholera, another Garcia Marquez novel. I've seen the movie for this, and I want to see. The movie was kind of weird and funny, and kind of bizarre, and I wanted to see how close to it the book was. And just because he was a good author, and he's a big boy, he's Colombian, and he's a big name in the Latin American literary scene, so I think it'd be good to read more of his stuff. But I know he was very particular in having his novels turned into movies, and I think one of the reasons I read, someone was trying for years to have him allow them to make 100 Years of Solitude into a film, and he was very resistant and just flat out said no. And I think one of the reasons is because the way they kind of messed with this novel when they made the film adaptation with Javier Bardem. But anyway, I'm really interested to read that as well. And then the next one is from an Argentine author, Ernesto Zapato. I'm probably saying that with the wrong accent. I'll try to learn it so when I do the review of this book I can do it justice. But it's called The Tunnel, and this was on a list of one of the best works of Latin American, and it falls right into my wheelhouse. It's published in 1948, an unforgettable psychological novel of obsessive love. Novel was championed by Albert Camus, Thomas Mann, and Graham Greene. It became an international bestseller. At its center is an artist named Juan Pablo Castel, who recounts from his prison cell his murder of a woman named Maria Irbarne. I don't know. Anyway. Sounds really interesting, and it's pretty short. Let's see. Yeah. 140 pages, so I'll probably read this one next, since it's the shortest. Or you know what, I might read Love in the Time of Cholera and then this. Anyway, later. I'm not sure. And then the last book I bought today, I had to read A Christmas Carol for a British literature class I'm taking, and I really enjoyed it. That was my first Dickens. I've never read any Dickens before, and I know it's super short, and it's probably not the best example of Dickens as far as like compared to his other novels, because they're usually very long. But I really enjoyed it, and watching the Booktube channel Bass Pierce talk about Dickens all the time kind of made me really want to read Dickens. And I asked Barry the other day on Twitter where a good place to start is, and he said the Pickwick Papers. So that's what I got. The Pickwick Papers by Charles Dickens. Nice little fat book. And I'm really excited to read this. It'll probably take me a really long time because I'm a very slow reader. But, you know, I'll be probably working on this simultaneously with other stuff. So those are all the books I bought, and that's probably going to be my TBR for the foreseeable future, and all the books I'm going to buy for the foreseeable future. So anyway, I'll let you know how that goes. Have a good day and happy reading.